Hello and welcome to Principles of Biology 2, Biology 1120. My name is Dr. Beasley and I will be your instructor for the fall semester in the course. And I'm putting together this video as a way of kind of providing an introduction given that we are not meeting on Monday for very good reasons. And so this is just what I would have done on Monday, just to kind of give everyone a background on the scope of the course and expectations. We will be jumping right in on Wednesday, so it's very important that you take the time to review the syllabus prior to coming to class and also review chapter 19 because that's what we're going to get going with when we get going on Wednesday. So this is Principles of Biology 2, so this is a course related to understanding how we understand the natural world. And when I say we, I'm referring to humans. And so the question is why? And we have very practical reasons, right? So this is a medieval handbook on health. Humans, we were very interested, of course, in understanding what was safe to eat, what organisms were going to make us feel better, what organisms were going to make us sick, So understanding the natural world was a practical necessity. And so historically speaking, if you look back to the history of science, there have been a number of ways in which humans have tried to do this. And the first way was related to natural theology. And I usually go in depth about this in my upper level courses. But here the idea was that organisms were organized on a ladder-like hierarchy with rocks and stones being at the bottom all the way up to God being at the top of this hierarchy of the natural world. The limitation to this type of classification is that it really didn't capture the diversity that people were seeing around them. And so that is when Carlos Linnaeus comes along and he develops a classification system based on structure, based on internal and external structure, and ended up fitting a good bit of the diversity into this classification system that we still use today. We classify organisms following the Linnaeus classification system. In 1990, we added another hierarchy, the domain, when we discovered that with technology that life was significantly more diverse than we can even possibly imagine, probably even more so than Linnaeus can imagine. And so now we are really at a point in biological thinking where we're really starting to think about, the scope, the extension of life's diversity. So it's really a good time to be a biology student, honestly, because we are, on the verge of discovering so many cool and new things. And it's important for practical reasons. So believe it or not, we don't really know a lot about life's diversity. We could argue that there's, for every species out there that we know that is known to science, there's probably 3, 4, 5 times as many that have yet to be discovered. For example, just last year, 60 new species of dragonflies were discovered in Africa. Sparklewing here pictured on the right being an example. And then for our Harry Potter fans, a new species of spider was discovered in India, and it was named after the character in Harry Potter. I'm sorry, I'm not a Harry Potter fan, so I am not familiar. But this highlights that there's a lot of the diversity that we have yet to discover, that we have yet to bring to the attention of science, and that has a huge impact on daily life. So those of you who are interested in going into medicine, understanding biological diversity, understanding what's driving that diversity will provide insight into how you deal with patient care, how you deal with the human body, what makes the human body break down, what makes the human body get better. These are all factors and questions that we address in biological thinking. For those of you interested in agriculture, or for those of you who enjoy eating food, it certainly has relevance to our food supply, especially in today's climate, where for a good bit of our food supply is losing diversity. And we'll talk more about that throughout the course, but that is going to pose a risk to our food supply in the future. And so addressing questions of diversity, what is driving diversity, what is limiting diversity in some cases, will be very important and relevant questions that we will answer in biology. And then finally, for those of us interested in conservation, they're all tied together, right? So identifying areas that are rich with diversity, understanding what's driving that, identifying areas that are under threat of losing diversity and what that means for the system as a whole. So these are questions that are relevant when we think about ecology, when we think about the overall system that we live in. You know, the take-home message when you're finished with this course is that not only is the scale of diversity is at a level that we don't quite understand, but or just beginning to understand, but that it's going to be relevant to our way of life, how we live. And then finally, as scientists, you know, biological thinking helps us understand the process of scientific inquiry, how we go about answering questions, developing questions, and taking next steps. And we'll go through some examples throughout the course where researchers have asked really innovative questions and designed elegant studies to highlight important processes that drive biological diversity. So, just really quick, I strongly encourage you to go over your syllabus. It is available on Blackboard in the syllabus folder. But really quick, the course will be assessed with 3 lecture exams consisting of multiple choice and short answer. There will be 4 quizzes, and they will pretty much serve as pre-tests. So they are low stakes, but they are designed to make sure that you are keeping up with the material. I will tell you that if you are not reading, if you're not keeping up with the chapters, you're going to have a very hard time in this course. There's a lot of material to cover, and so it's very important that you keep up with the material. So the quizzes provide incentive to do that, to stay on pace. Also, the Applia homework sets. There will be Applia homework sets available in Blackboard in the course folder for each week, and they're due every Friday morning. So, and the Applia serves as extra credit. So you have to complete all the Applia homework sets that are available. And if you do so and you get a passing grade and passing grade being 70, I will add 5 points to your lecture exams. So that's a way of giving you some incentive to read the material, but then also kind of take advantage of these Applia homework sets to kind of give you additional practice on concepts that we'll talk about in class. And so keep in mind that your first Applia homework is due this Friday. Chapter 19 is due this Friday before class starts. So that means that if you do not have your Applia homework done and submitted by 8 o'clock, then you lose that extra credit opportunity. So, so just please bear that in mind, that the following week Applia homework will always be available after the Friday class, so you have an entire week to get the homework done. So there's very little reason why everyone, you know, should be able to get all the extra points they need. Communication, so please be aware that most of my communication to the class will be going through UTC Learn, so please make sure that you have web access and that you can get to Blackboard when needed. Cengage tech support. If you have any questions regarding, you know, getting access to Cengage, I encourage you to contact that number. They will be able to help you much more quickly than I can. I will be having the learning consultant come by the class the following week to address any questions and kind of walk you through how to get access to Cengage. Hopefully it won't be a problem. I directly linked Applia to Blackboard, so you should just be able to just click on the link and go directly to the homework set. But any issues, I encourage you to go to Cengage. And then with email, if you have an email and you have a question for me, I aim to respond to emails within 24 hours. I will tell you that I stop checking emails every night at 8 p.m. So if you email me at 9 o'clock, you probably won't get a response from me until the next day when I check my emails again. So just keep that in mind. But I will aim to respond within 24 hours to any questions. So that is all I have. So for Wednesday, like I said, we'll be jumping right in with chapter 19, evolutionary change in populations. Like I said, please read ahead. It's very important that you stay ahead of your reading. We will be meeting in Brock Hall, room 201, and we will start bright and early at 8 o'clock a.m. So I hope you guys, if you haven't seen the eclipse yet, I hope you enjoy it. If you have, I hope it was awesome. I'm very excited myself. And in fact, we'll be going out in the field to record animal behavior. So anywho, thank you. I will see you all on Wednesday. Have a wonderful day.